absolute sure that is something that I want on this map. Is some circles this time. I want them to be like accenting. Like, you know, with Nido, I had a really nice set of like individual garden spheres. And while it does take like a little bit of extra resources, where the light casts out and where that room is working on, it can only affect that one room. And I did like that. I also do want to bring in some more internal battery room space where my people aren't looking at the batteries because they hate the look of batteries, right? They don't like them. It makes them unhappy. So I'm going to remove those from sight. Those sightly batteries. Get rid of those. And yeah, if I'm lucky, I might... I don't know. I shouldn't have to do too much. Okay, so that's where we've got our hospitals at the moment. Now, I like that. You wouldn't even realize straight away that this whole centered part looks immediately so much bigger just because I've made them diamonds at a different angle. Like, the funny thing about this is I could actually make this a inner pen here to this bottom lip of the buildings of the hospital, right? I could have an internal pen and I could have an external pen going out to these bits. So if I had a breakage in here, there'd still be inside, or if I wanted to open up a door and let them out further, I could let them out further depending on the season, stuff like that. Yeah. All right, so now that I've got that, right, what I might do is I will bust out the marble, and I'm gonna get these as like a solid line. I'm gonna get all the way in here so I can see what I'm doing. But I don't want it to come all the way in like that, right? It's gonna need to do that a bit. Where's that picture? Come back here. It's gonna need to a little bit, but not quite that way. Oh, wait, picture. All right, so we can cancel that one. All right, it's fine. I mostly just need the outside built. Trying to think, like in the hospital, for instance, I could temporarily build bedding at the moment. That is a possibility. The other thing I could do is I didn't mind the idea of having the little circles for bedrooms itself, but I kind of don't want that. So yeah, now you can see it really nice and clearly now that I don't have all the dots and stuff, but that's the shape I'm going for, right? So I've just got to pop that on all these so I don't lose them. I also don't have anywhere for storage yet. But I'm actually thinking the center of the map for the first time ever, making the center of the map kind of like a storage hub kind of location, because I've never done that before. And I think that might be interesting. I think the closest I got was Coalition. I had it off to one side and it wasn't quite in the center of the map. And that was my Pokeball shaped establishment, which ended up turning into a turtle, which ended up turning into like much bigger, greater things. So we'll see how that goes. After I build these, I'm going to turn around and turn my heater on because it be chilly as fuck. Ah, here I am. I'm not going to wait. I'm already making errors. I'm just going to turn it on now. I'll put that on like ultra roast. See if it brings up the room temperature quickly, and then I can turn it down if it gets warm. Because even my coffee went like stone cold in a very short amount of time. Yeah, it's not quite stone cold. It's still, and to be fair, it's kind of drinkable, but I don't want to drink it quickly. I'm well aware that my stomach's being quite delicate at the moment, so I'm just kind of like being very, I'm giving it a slow pace with a lot of things that could potentially upset it at the moment, since it's being a delicate little bastard. I've also been drinking a lot of water since I got the new drink bottle. Funny story is that I'm drinking that much fucking water that like I can't relax for very long without having to like go visit a toilet. And I'm like, man, it's been a long time. Obviously, getting a new drink bottle is like interesting and exciting for my brain. So either that or I'm drinking just a lot more water in general. But yeah, I'm getting to a point where I think I worked out this thing. It only measures up to 120 liters, but then I realized it's missing so much like measured volume up to top. So I think it's actually 150 liters. I think it's like a liter and a half. Sorry. I know I was talking about like big literage then, but I think it's a liter and a half of water that it holds. And my old one was 1 liter, and I'm powering through like half of it at like any kind of drinking interval. So I'm like kind of coming into it a lot faster than I really should be. Okay, so there's our hospitals, right? Diamond-shaped hospitals. I'm gonna have another little swig at my coffee while I'm thinking of it. Then I'll have some water. The only thing is, up in this don't build area, I will have one of the geothermal things, because there's one there. What else have I got? I want more water than that. This thing pours so slowly now. Oh, that's butter. Okay, so that one's got one geothermal pit in it. That one does as well, and I don't mind that because I can't really build on these, but if I could get away with a water thing, which I don't think I looked at, my only thought was that perhaps one might be able to fit here somewhere if I were lucky, but I may have to dry up to the edge for it. My last ones, I really didn't think that they would fit, and then they did, and I think the problem here is that the water goes too far out to the edge. And what I had before was more like a straight line thing. Either that or it has to just be deeper. Like, I could build a bridge out here. Don't get me wrong. I could build a little bridge to here, I think, right? I could probably build a bridge to here and get at least one by the look of it. Maybe two if I'm lucky there, as long as they don't intersect each other. About here maybe. Because it has to be, the propellers have to be in deep water. You can build stuff onto bridges. The only problem is if the bridge goes out from under it, the device sitting on top of it automatically breaks. So any kind of fire, any kind of electrical strike really puts my like waterborne stuff at risk. So there's that. Okay. Let's see. I do want to have like an animal pen situation on this inside bit. I also want to build, and I'm having a bit of trouble visually figuring out how I want to build this, because what I want is both good storage and good cooking area, maybe some inner prison areas, and I was going to have maybe some construction-y areas. Let me have a bit of a brief look at my pictures. Hold up. Wait, it's not full screen there. I just need it not to be blocking shit so I can see. In the past, I didn't really need much in the way of like food storage space. Even for a big colony, I never really needed a huge amount of space. So I think the space I've got in the center there might be enough. I'll find one of my other bases. Hold up. So Coalition had quite a lot more spread out from it. It also had a similar kind of design to this, actually. Looking at it. I'm not really surprised about. Okay. That's true. Alright. Let me put that down. Come here, game. So what I'm looking at is these size rooms. If I took them all the way up to here, may actually be the exact size I need for like a storage compartment-y type space. That would take away from it being like an animal area in the center, but that's also not such a problem. So what I want to do, my dots, is what I'm seeing visually, right? So I'm seeing a line coming through here. Like this. Okay. And I want to build on it. Okay. That's what I'm seeing, right? Is I'm seeing this big centered area. And I'm like, I could build in this. Ideally because I could build to a fence on these parts as well. I'm seeing an outer area like this, which looks like a good like external animal run to me. I could literally divide that in half or by quarters, and they would have like a corner like this, right? They'd have like a good amount of space. Like not everywhere looks like it's got stuff. I do have to allow that I need grow rooms too. Azul, what is that sour face for? Did Nick wake you up? Oh, sweetie. She's got such a little sour face on her at the moment. She's all like bothered because she got woken up. It's okay. I gave like I put my finger on top of her nose and under her chin and gave her a little scritchy on both at the same time, and now she's back asleep. Let's see. I would like... I don't know yet if I want them to be grow rooms. Some of these areas around here are not good. What have we got? That one's not good for grow rooms, but I could have sleep rooms around here. Okay, so you guys aren't seeing what I'm seeing because I'm just thinking stuff, right? But if I grab a sun lamp, this is what I'm looking at, right? Just imagine like maybe one or two of these, like about here. About here, go there, another one there, and then two more here. It'd be very easy to have a couple of like either bedrooms or anything, right? Just having there alone gives me 6 that I can have. Plus, if I wanted to be fancy and have the extra there and there on all of them, that one would obviously be in the way. But I could have like the extra there, and we could end up with like 8 immediate rooms, give or take. Depends how I do it. There could be almost 6 to 8, give or take, on each one of these. And each one of these would be 2 bedrooms, right? So if that's a 2 bedroom each, and that's say 6. Hold up, let me get out a calculator. I'm never doing fucking maths live. All right, hold up. So we got 4. So let's say it's 6 times 4 and then times 2. That's immediately 48 bedrooms, possibly. Bedrooms and or workrooms, potentially. That's 48. And of course, each one has a double bed. But I only ever count each bed as an individual. So that would give me 48 immediately. And I could put other beds elsewhere. Or alternatively, that could be 48 grow rooms. Mind you, areas like this ain't going to give me much growth. Let's see, fertility overlay. All right, so this one's a dud except for there. That one's a yes. Those two could have symmetrical to each other, and that one could have some. I could change it that like 1 or 2 of these, wherever they've got like the side that's shit, could be specifically a bedroom. I can make that look logistically the same. However, if this is mirrored to that, and that's a grow room, that could be a grow room, yes. But then mirrored to that, that would have to be a bedroom, and that one would be fine. So that would work. I could still make it a grow room, it's just it wouldn't grow much, and it would be more of like an outdoor storage, honestly. I do that for some stuff, like I put beer outside one of those once. It was great. This one's mostly where I've got the problem. And this one I could make bedrooms, although I could make grow rooms and across from here, grow rooms and bedrooms and bedrooms. That could work. Yeah, you like my socks. Yeah, so each different game that I play throughout, well, I've got different socks for the different games. So RimWorld's got pumpkins. I think Sunken Land had ghosts. I've got different ones for different stuff. There's bats and there's other stuff. That was actually Nick's idea because I wanted to have like a little bit of Halloween cheer because like we don't really celebrate Halloween in Australia, but I know that online like it's a bit of a bigger thing, and I wanted to put something up, but I didn't want it to be in the way of the games either. because I wanted to have like maybe some bats decorating up along the top, and then I realized if I play RimWorld, nobody will see my characters, and if I play other games, they'll just be in the way. So I just added some to. I just got Halloween socks on at the moment, so I thought that was good. Also, I think my zoomed in has a little bat in her bow as well, like just one little like clip, just holding her hair back, which is really hard to see now that I think about it. But yeah. So that was actually Nick's idea. Sometimes, because I was stressing about this, I'm like, how do I add Halloween to my different things? And he's like, why don't you just have Halloween socks? And I'm like, oh my god, it's so simple, but it's yes. So yeah, I've fucking sat there and put all the little pumpkins on her. Just grabbing some water. Yeah. Yeah, no, Nick and Trianther have had some really brilliant fucking ideas. And sometimes the simplest idea can sometimes be the best idea. And a lot of the times I just don't stop and appreciate that shit. Because like I'm a overthinker. I'm a mega overcomplicator, unfortunately. So yeah, that tends to happen. Okay, I'm definitely going to try to do this. I'm not going to be able to, if I have that perfectly centered, right? I have that. The next one will have to be like down here and to there, right? But I don't know if I'm going to have to build these 2 rooms and then see what I can fit between it. I'll either fit 1 or I'll fit 2. So I'm going to start with this one, right? So I want it to be out by about here, and it's going to be building inwards. So this is going to be fun. So I'm just getting an idea for this. It goes out by 1 because I'm holding up a light. I'm not actually holding up a block. So from memory, these go in by 1, out by 1, in by 1, out. And then it goes out by, I think, it takes 6, I think. So again, in, out, and then 6. That should be about the shape. I've made a lot of these in the past, so I should know how to make them by now. Very fucking close. I was just off by a couple. All right, so I'm also trying to build with marble too. So that's definitely something. Let me put out by that. Let's fix up what I did in here. Get rid of that, get rid of that, and that. Okay, that should be the shape, structure. These should also be quite insulated too. So I need to go out by 1 on those edges. Okay. Yeah, because what I was doing was I was doing the exact shape. So yeah, I got it right, but I missed the extra dot that I'm going to need. That's fine. Once you've made a couple of these things, they're not too bad. I think it was it on the outside? Probably. Let's fucking just put it there and I'll find out. I forgot. No, it was on the inside. That's fine. It always takes a bit. Yeah, no worries, Mathless. Building structures in this can take a while. Let's put you there. Okay, so that's supposed to be the inside, right? So if I grab you. Yeah, I don't think there's a wrong way to do that, honestly. I think whether I put it on the outside or I put it on the inside, I think it will both work. So yeah, I think I'd rather it on the outside. Although that sort of shape in itself doesn't matter too much. How much is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's to 5. So let's try this because it's what? Indent. And then we're taking it up by 1. Then we're taking it in by 2, I think. Not from that spot, from this spot, by the look of it. I don't know. This should be fun. I kind of feel like it's up from here, though. There, and then what? Into 2? Something like that. This is the hardest part when you're building something that's not actually a structure shape in the game. That's 6 and that's off-centered. That's the 5. That's more of like an oval, actually. I've never actually just made an oval in this game. How interesting. If I could turn that on its head, I might actually like that more. I might be able to do that, actually. I didn't consider making an oval. at all, but I kind of like the idea. It's a little bit shorter, right? It's a little bit shorter. Now, what's the internal space of this? What's the internal volume going for this? If I only take half as a room. Okay. So it's definitely big enough. I could definitely fit a bed on that straight bit there, and I could fit doors on either side of the bedroom. They could leave on either side. If I turn this up long ways, yeah. All right. I think I found something interesting that I wasn't planning to do, but I like it. Okay, very interesting. Also, there'll be like a central wall in this, so I'm going to need this to be a little bit more wider. So that's fine. I may have to make it circular anyway. If I just make it circular in itself, right, it will allow me to do that extra wall shit that I need to do. So if I take it up to here instead, that, right, I take away the internal bit, like that, right? Not quite the same shape. I'm getting there. It's fine. But what I wanted to know with this, it's not too far off it either. So that's doing a circle. A circle has the dead center line, the unevenness of this being centered. That's the only difference. Okay. All right. Should be able to fucking fix this shit up. I haven't done shapes and shit like this before, so this is all very interesting to me. So if I took this out by, say, 2, right? And then I took this one out by 1 more. And then I took this longer ways to, say, like a 7, right? Up to a 7. And I get rid of some of this internal line shit. That. That. Now, if I got rid of this stuff too, makes it a lot wider, right? Not quite what I'm after. I may have to just narrow it back up again. That's fine, though. I just wanted to check. Hey. Okay. I know logically I've got probably people sitting here like, the fuck you even doing? And I'm like, I'm building. That's what I'm doing. Am I building well? No. Did I say I was going to build well? Of course not. Fucking, I'm just creating different shapes. This is how you can come across different shapes, by the way. If you want to get creative in RimWorld, you want to have stuff look different. This is probably your best bet, honestly, for making shit different. Get up to a 7. All right, so this gives me a central thing. You know, my only thing is I can fit a double bed in there, but I don't need it to be that tall. So if I take it to a 2 there, taking it in from there, that would be what, this would be the one where it's 5 or so across here. There. All right, and probably outwards. So let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Probably the external outer line. So there's an oval. Okay. An oval in RimWorld. Not quite what I was initially thinking of, but I don't hate this. And the reason for that is if I was to put a straight line through here, right? So this is now a dividing wall. And if this was a bedroom, if I was to grab a basic double bed, I could easily fit one here, or I could divide it in half again and slap a bed right there, or even right there, right? If I made this one longer, I could have one central wall going through here, and I could have 4 rooms. If I do that, that's immediately 8 bedrooms and or solar rooms, which if I grab a sun lamp, if I'm doing this as a solar room, I'm better off doing it as a circle. If I'm doing it as bedrooms, the oval shape is definitely something I want. I want to put that somewhere else on this map so I don't lose the idea. I might just tuck it up in here, honestly. I might just put an oval up in there. Because I like the idea of having a bedroom like that. And I do want solar rooms where they can access it quite liberally. Like, yes, there's great little planting areas up there, and I might make that an outdoor field. It's not the smartest thing to do, but there's a lot of patches that are far away. I do count this area here as far away from the center. It's quite a distance, right? It's going to take a long time to come out to do anything. And it's going to take them just as long to cut anything back in. Okay, so I want a lot more of the growing stuff in and around here. I actually do want their bedrooms to be out towards the edge of the maps. That is something I have planned for this, but I like that. I like that. The only problem is if I slap a grow light in here, no matter how I place it, if I made this one longer, right, what would happen is I would have wasted space for this light. I could make this a bigger oval, but I would also have 2 spots at least in here as an oval where probably actually 4 spots where I wouldn't have anything growing. And that is also a wasted internal space. So I do want circles, but I do like that. That is something that I do want. I could have a couple of like ovals like that and then have circles and shit. It's definitely something different. I definitely like the shape of the oval. I want that. But I don't want that for grow rooms. So the next question is, if I was to put ovals on a pivot around this thing, which by the way would be a nightmare because it's not like I can just pull up an oval shaped room and just make it. I have to figure out how to vary this on every different shape, angle, side. Yeah, all right. I'm just going to tuck that shape. I'm going to replicate it over here and just keep that for later. Okay. As it's a 5, so let's tuck you right back here. So you're a 5 to begin with. Then let's see. We go up by 1, we go out by 1, we go up by 2. And then we've got what I think was about a 7, but I'm actually going to make that... I think that was a 6, but I'm going to make it a 7 just for this. Just because I want to have the biggest space. And bring by a 5 again. I'll show you what I mean with the different rooms in a minute. Okay. You up by 1. That's about right. Going out. I think these ones went out by like that kind of thing. So let's see. Up. Up by 1. Up again by 3 or whatever. And then there's your 7. Okay, so there's a room, right? So what I'm looking at, I'll just temporarily shove some stuff in here so everybody can see what I'm on about. Okay, if I put a central cut line, a wall, if I put another wall, we immediately have 4 rooms, okay? 4 rooms equals 4 bedrooms from one building. And this inside needs to be at least 7 for them to be happy. So immediately we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have an 11 size room. Now, the reason why that's important is that they think that that's a great room. So it makes them happy. So if I grab, say, a king size bed, and it doesn't matter where I put this, but let's just say for sake of it, that I was to put this like this kind of scenario, right? Some kind of like symmetrical bullshit. Let's just say for the sake of it that I slapped a lamp in their rooms, right? Immediately there's a room, there's a lamp, they've got stuff. If I wanted to make it fancy, I could give them a pot plant, which I never really fuck around with that, but I could give them the classic, you know, animal bed scenario at the bottom of their beds, right? Where 2 pet animals can come and sleep per room. That's immediately 2 animals per room. Let's see, what else can I put in here? If I had to, if I needed to, I could interconnect these walls and make them, you know, a line. I could turn this on either direction, so it could be going this way or it could be going that way, and they could have interconnected venting for, say, heating. Like, it would be very easy if I had a second room here. Let me show you. If I had, say, this is a central wall, so it would go out in a mirrored shape to that, and then down, and this would go onto a line, right? It's not quite right, but whatever. So it would be something like that kind of thing, right? Something along there. Either way, the central line being there, I think I've got to bring it to there. Either way, let's just say that's part of the next room that's exactly perfectly the same as that shit, right? Give or take, right? It looks like that. So let's just say if I wanted to get some heating in this place, and this was actually the same shape as that, for instance, I would put, say, a solid wall out here, right? You could put a solid wall there. And assuming this looks exactly like that, which it doesn't, let me actually make that look the same so it's not so difficult to imagine. Okay, so that's the same, right? That's going out to the same shape as this. So what you can do with this is you can get a heater or a cooler, whatever you need, right? You could put a little heater in here if you wanted. Pop a heater there. Or you could slap a heater or a cooler on the outside, depending on what kind of temperature climate shit you need, right? You put that there. And you could put a vent there. And immediately you have internal heating that does 2 rooms at least, right? You just need every so often one to have that. And I could very easily do that with this place. So I might just temporarily leave this shit shape there. And I'll leave that all as like, I don't want it to do that. I just want it to be, I want to forbid them from working on any of this. So if I was to, can I have the different marker, please? I don't want them to forbid that. Allow. Can I say all of this? Just don't do it. Yeah? All this is don't do it. I want to just save these for later, just in case, for a kind of like mind of where I've got ideas, right? So there's immediately an option that you can have, right? You could also put like a basic fireplace or say a cooling campfire or passive cooler or something in here. You could put whatever you need in here to get this to work for power, no power, winter, summer, whatever. And immediately you've got 4 bedrooms that are well and truly with size. You could put doors on the side so they can pass through or whatever, or you could put the doors down the bottom so they can go in between different rooms if they want, or just come straight in. You could shorten this. You could make it more rounded if you wanted, instead of it being a wide oval where you've got like the extra space that makes the room 11. You could take it down to 10 and it would still work. There would be just a little bit less space with this. You'd move that up kind of thing. Yeah. So either way, there's a very easy way to make a lot of room with not much. You can also do stuff like this with power stuff. Like I could pop a battery in here in this room next to one of my devices and immediately hidden battery, batteries everywhere. So if one blows up, they don't blow up others. Yeah, it's a good enough idea. I will come back to this. I like this. I don't think it needs to be a room of 11. I think I could cut that down. But yeah, I want to use that. I want to use that shape for sure. Since I've accidentally made it, this is also how I found a lot of these shapes, was I kind of accidentally made something in the past. But yeah, I think I'll go with the orbs for row rooms around this. And I'll just have to go with at least like a not quite symmetrical for, there'll be a couple where they're bedrooms. There'll be probably a couple where they're actually like row rooms or something like that. There's a squirrel right there. But yeah, these areas here that are orange, I can't get anything on this like purple area at all. The orange will grow, but very slow. So they're not huge choices. But if I can get a few in the area, it'd be really great. So yeah. All right, back to this. Now, I do think that if I didn't put a circle at the end, I could probably get more row area, but I'm not too worried about it. Let's see. I want to get sometimes honestly in-game accidents are sometimes the best way to learn. I think I want this to come up here. This to go out a bit. That to go out a bit. That should be fine there, but I kind of need to bring it in about there somewhere, I think. Give or take. Get rid of that. That. It's not quite right yet, but it's getting better. As far as like a quick, immediate improvement, it wasn't that bad. Yeah, I just need to go up by a little bit more structure. Just need like up here to be in growable space, because everywhere that that light expands out to, I actually need it to be in like that. So, because I'm making it to the shape of the actual box, I actually need to make it bigger. So that's okay. I could do that. Alright. My only problem is because I'm constantly swooping back and forth between a lot of the stuff, make it a little bit harder to remember what the fuck I'm doing. Let's take it out by about that. Bring it up, probably in this kind of direction. Give or take like that. Get rid of all this shit in the center. That. Okay, that's looking pretty much circular to me. How's it going? Ooh, very close. Very, very close. There's only a couple of spots that are not where it wants to be, and there's a couple of spots where I need to move it back on the other side. Here somewhere, I think. Let's put those all there. I think that had to go outwards for that to work. So I'll need to join like that. That looks about the same. Something here ain't right though. That's fine, I can fix that up. Let's remove, say, this inner bit here. That looks same, right? That looks same to me. Perfect. There we go, there's a grow room, right? Grow room that's not wasting any space. So if that's the size of that, there's a good chance that if I want a second one, I'm probably not going to get maybe a third one unless I'm joining a wall. Like if I was to conjoin a wall there, maybe. Or there, maybe.